Hello, good morning. How is everybody doing today? It's another beautiful Saturday. Yes, as we inch closer to winter because it's getting cooler and cooler, but it's still a beautiful day. I trust you've all had a good week. My name is Yafoda Tobra, otherwise known as Auntie Ya. I welcome you to Auntie Ya's Book Corner. Today, my co-host Ya Boating Russell is not able to be with us, so I am flying solo. So let's start. What I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you about the programs that we do on this platform, and then I'll quietly go share. Usually, when I'm sharing, Ya is talking to people, right? But since she's not here, I'm going to be very quiet. I'm not sure what is going on. Okay, I was just checking to see that we were live because last week we had a problem where Facebook was not it wasn't it wasn't streaming to Facebook, but I see that we're on. So as I said, I'm just going to share with you the programs that we do on this platform. So on Saturdays at 9:30 Mountain Standard Time, which is my time in Edmonton, Canada, and then it's 11 a.m. EST. It's 3 p.m. Ghana time, and then 4 p.m. British time, we do Auntie Yaa'S book live here. So we've been treating communication skills, so we're going to be continuing with that. As well, during the week, there's all kinds of videos that come out. The second one would be beauty lessons with your favorite auntie. I take a clip from a passage from my second book, The Beauty of a Woman's Heart, and then I share with you. There's also Own It this is the Own It book with your own ornithologist and queen of Own It. As well, I do Auntie Yaa'S Nuggets. I share nuggets, wisdom from things that are to do with daily life, yes. And there's Pearls of Wisdom. That is a detailed chart about a passage from the Bible and how it applies to our lives. And the shorter version of it is called A Word with You. So these are the 6 main programs that we do on this platform. The Facebook Live is on Saturday mornings. The other 5 come on during the week. As well, we have Auntie Yaa'S Own It Academy. We provide book publishing services. We have a story. Sometimes people have a story sitting inside of them, but they are so afraid or fearful of putting it out there. I'm sure you've heard me say before, my son had told me about a statement somebody made to him, and he says, "Mom, what do you think about this?" He said when he told the person he was writing, that the gentleman had said to him, "Oh, leave those for the Abrofu, Obroni people." And so my son asked me what I thought about it. I won't mention it here because they'll block my video. Because why should we put ourselves down? We're also capable of we're all human beings on earth to live a life, and we can all do anything we can do to the best of our abilities. We have the potential, but we shortchange ourselves and we cry all kinds of cries instead of just stepping forth and doing what needs to be done. So if you have that story and you want us to share it for you, we'll help you write the story and publish it. As well, we do live coaching. There's people who have all kinds of things going on with them, maybe things from their upbringing, they lack confidence, low self-esteem, what have you. We'll work with you to get you on your way. As well, there's women empowerment. Many women think that they are not capable of doing anything. Don't get me wrong, a lot of women are doing things, but then some of us too, specifically, we've been groomed a certain way. The script that we were given was go to school, get married, have children. So if you ask a woman, what do you want to do in life? They'll tell you, well, I'm married, this and that, and they have excuses, but there's more to you, and we'll help you discover that. Okay, so those are the programs that we have on this our platform. Let me say hello to some of our guests before I go share. Hello, sis. Welcome, welcome. I hope you're doing well this lovely morning. So bear with me. I'm going to go share and then we'll get started. This is strange. You see, I can't even. Okay, let me just copy. I can't do the share from my platform. And when I go to the book corner, the book corner usually doesn't even allow me to share to groups. I only have, okay, I'll try this. No, wrong one. Yeah, so we've been talking about communication these past few weeks. And today we're going to be focusing on adults communication. My phone is just a little bit slow. What's going on this morning? No. This is very strange. Oh my goodness, this is taking a lot of time. All right, let's see what I can do here. Okay, I got one. Where are the others? Okay. You know, pretty soon people will come and tell you not to share into their groups. I had a funny incident yesterday, and when I got around to talking to the person, all I got was they had let me know a few weeks ago that some of my videos were not live. Didn't I get it? And I said I did not get any message. So when they go, oh, I like the things you share, so I keep, and I'm like, yeah, okay. Maybe you didn't count on me speaking up, but I didn't get any communication. So was it sent, or do I just give the benefit of the doubt? So that's how it goes. We tend to do things that way, and sometimes we think people won't react. And so when you have the one person who reacts, then I guess it takes you aback. But this is the thing. I've had those situations happen to me, even when you are in a group of people that you know or who are supposed to know you, and you question certain things, then they label you that like, oh, you like to fight or you're a troublemaker. No, you are standing up for yourself. That's what it is. Because I don't believe in people being treated wrongly. So if you do that to me, I stand up for myself. But because we are timid, when we see somebody speaking up, we think there's something wrong with them. And we're going to get into that. Okay. All right. Who did I miss? Okay, I'll continue after. Okay, so back to the main topic at hand. Let me bring up the titles. We've been talking about communication. Well, we've called it Communication Skills 101. So the first time I think we did communication broadly, how to communicate. The second one, we talked about communicating with your kids. And now today we're talking about how adults communicate, and it's with specific reference to, what do you call it? Adults. But I'll start from here. How our upbringing impacts the way we communicate as adults. And I'm speaking with particular reference to my community that I come from. Or if you're a Ghanaian, you're an African, you relate to a lot of the things that I say. So I'm going to start by asking that question. How has that upbringing impacted the way we communicate? Here's a bit of history. You see, most of us were brought up in strict environments, very strict upbringing. Yes, our adults put the fear in us, fear of adults, fear of authority. You don't question anything, you are a child. Basically, basically, a child is to be seen and not heard. When grown-ups are having a conversation, you leave the room. You only come and greet them when they come, and when they are leaving, your parents will call you to come and say goodbye. So you are not allowed to think or feel your feelings. I've gone through many situations where something was going on and I voiced it out, and my mom was, oh, be quiet. It doesn't matter. It's your sister. It's this. And so we are stuffing day by day. You stuff your feelings in. And we think that because we are so religious, I won't even call it Christian, we are religious to a fault. We are taught to just do for everybody and not ourselves. So if somebody is treating you badly, oh, don't say anything because God says, love your neighbor as yourself, whatever excuse that we come up with. You see, God created you with a voice. You are supposed to speak. Yes. And so what do you get by making yourself timid? But it's not that even you made yourself timid. It was the script that was fed to us in the community. Your opinion did not matter. All you had to do was forgive, like I said. And if you talk, you are expected to, especially if you're a woman, be quiet. If you talk too much, oh, be quiet, be demure. A lot of times I've seen many comments under social media posts, where people are, oh, you're a woman and you are talking like that. And I'm thinking, okay, what is that supposed to mean? So with these kinds of things happening to us, we don't own ourselves. We don't know who we are because we've not been taught to vocalize our thoughts, our feelings, emotions, everything. And compare it to kids in the diaspora. And they talk and they talk and they talk because that's how they are raised. They tell you how they feel. And even we come from other places, come and live in the diaspora, and we criticize the environments in which we live. Oh, kids this, kids that. So we think that the environment spoils our children. But if you are a good communicator, what you will do is you look at where you came from and look at the environment in which you are, open yourself up for the sake of your kids and be able to communicate with them so they can come to you when they have issues. So this is the background for what we are talking about today. As I said, it is, what do you call it? The main topic is communication, adult communication. So I've gone over how our upbringing impacts the way we communicate. So based on all these factors that I've mentioned, we become quite timid. The word that a late lawyer said is timorous. We are very timid. And so you find that even for those of us in Ghana, yeah, we've gone through some turbulent times. We've seen all kinds of things politically, right? And other countries too. So anybody who's lived in a place where there's been oppression of whatever, you tend to fear authority. You are living in a new environment. If you see the authorities, who law enforcement people, you become agitated or you get worried. But even if they are questioning you, if you're able to speak up and tell them your story, they'll listen. So all these fears that we have, we're in environments right now, we don't speak up. We just take anything as it is. Maybe you go to work, you're being bullied, or something is going on, you won't speak up. Your manager is doing something that's not right. Even there's personnel policies that you can follow, but we're too afraid to examine those things. We don't, yes. So basically, I'm going to start by talking about tips for developing great communication skills. Because at the end of the day, you are your own advocate. Nobody else is going to come and speak for you. Look, Sister Ajo may have a situation going on. She may talk to me about it, but I won't be the one to go speak up for her. She may listen to me. I may give her 3 or 4 tips. She may take one or take none. But at the end of the day, when she's going to go face that particular situation, she has to voice her feelings, her thoughts, everything. This is something that we have to learn. This is something that we have to learn because this is your life and you only live it once. And if you're going to live it repressing your emotions, you know how you're feeling, but you're so afraid of people, so timid, you're so much into people pleasing that you won't speak up for yourself. You're going to die and go to your grave and nobody will know who you really were because you never spoke up. Yes. Sister Joa says, no one should allow others to restrict or oppress them from speaking their mind and expressing their feelings because it can harm internally. My health is more important to me than what others think. Yes. That is it right there. And she agreeing with something that I said. You need to learn to speak up for yourself. Yes. So when we're talking about, where am I again? Tips for developing great communication. Learn to listen. Listen. Ask for clarification if you don't understand what is being said. A lot of us, we don't listen. We talk over each other. It's very sad when that happens. We think that people need to think the same way we do, so our conversations become shouting matches, and that is that is not the greatest outcome for any situation. Listen, keep quiet, listen to what the person is saying. If you don't understand what they are saying, you ask for clarification. Yes. And two, when you are speaking, make sure that you're not using terms that people don't understand. This relates to, oh, hello, message, how are you doing? This relates to work environments, particularly you have new people sitting in a meeting and then somebody is off using these terms that people don't understand. Always speak so that your audience understands where you're coming from. Keep it basic, keep it simple, so that they can ask you questions. You see, because of some of these timid aspects, as I described, the way we were brought up, when we find ourselves in certain situations, we don't ask questions, especially in work environments, and then you may go make a mistake. And when you make a mistake, and then you are disciplined or reprimanded about it, you say, oh, they don't like you, perhaps because of your skin color or what have you. But some of these things we need to pay attention to. We need to groom ourselves. We need to learn and be better. You start by learning to listen. If, for me, if say a supervisor or whoever, a teammate, I'm working on a project and I don't understand something, I'll go, oh, hey, I don't get this. What did we say about it? Is this what we meant? And then they'll clarify. There's nothing wrong with asking questions. You see, our problem with the way that we were brought up is that we come from a shaming environment, a shaming culture. If you don't know something and you ask questions, then people start laughing at you. Oh, you don't know this. But it's so trivial, so childish. We need to get past that. Ask questions. For me, the other day, one sister had her son doing a presentation and they used a term. And I asked the question and she didn't see it. I sidebarred her and I said, what does that mean? I asked the question, I think you didn't say. She said, yes, she didn't see it. So she answered me, if you don't understand something, you ask. Hey, Sister Joa, what does this mean? I don't get this. There's nothing wrong with it. When you ask questions, you become more knowledgeable. Knowledge is power when you use it. And the other thing too is your body language matters. Your body language is really important. Yes. If you are in a situation and you are chatting, say your manager or supervisor, workmate has called you, and then you do this folding of arms type thing, it's like you are closed off. You look defensive. Have an air of openness around you, that you are open, you are listening, and you're paying attention and you're asking the necessary questions. And also check your message, especially when you're doing things like emails. Check your message before you send it. Listen, if you are sending an email, for example, and you are angry about a situation, pack it. Go do another task, come back to it, read through it, make corrections before you send it. Because you don't want to you don't want to be sending things for which you have to do damage control later. And meanwhile, the damage might have been done and it might be irreversible. People won't pay attention. Okay. And when you are speaking, to be brief, don't go all over the place talking. You lose people. You lose people. You're trying to communicate. So don't be using language that is above people's heads so people can't understand you and then they lose interest. It's almost like some people will bully you into submission. They use big words and throw things around and they won't listen to you. And in instances like that, you just agree to disagree. Look, we've all met them, people who, feel that they have all the answers, they know it all, so what have you. For me, sometimes you need to choose which hill you're willing to die on. I just listen to you, and I'm going, well, you don't seem willing to listen to me. I leave it there. In my mind, I'm just laughing. I said, I know what I know. You're not going to change my mind. Those are your opinions. I'm not going to do what you said. What I know to be true is what I am going to say, what I'm going to do. There's some instances that you have to speak up, but what I just described is forever hold your peace. Sometimes I just hold my peace because some people, they'll never change. They know it all. We've met a lot of them in different situations. They know everything, so you can't change their minds. Let them go. But where you can make an impact, your input will make an impact, certainly do speak up. Let me read a few comments. This address says narcissists, abusers, controlling partners, cowards, insecure, jealous, envious, greedy, selfish, lack of self-discipline, full of power over others are oppression, lies, manipulation, deception, bad intention, sabotaging, defamation, tricks, negative tactics, etc. These are all the things that we do because we have not learned to communicate effectively. Yes. Message says body language, non-verbal communication tells us more about the verbal communication or the spoken word. Most certainly, that is it. It's very true. Hello, Miss Eppa. She says, hello, honorable people. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So basically for communication, sometimes it's very difficult. You are talking to some very difficult people or you are so full of fear, but challenge yourself. Write down your points. Sister Jo says bullies are weak, insecure, immature, cowards, and lack of many beneficial skills. Write down your points, right? And then don't make it, just summarize so that you know that these are the 4 points that I'm going to be addressing in this conversation or this chat, communication, what have you. And so then you go over it briefly and you go straight to the point. When you ramble all over, you lose it. And as we said, there are people who are very opinionated, very strong-minded. And when you meet such individuals, they'll try to cower you into submission. Don't allow it. Don't allow it. Hello. Is this message? Sorry, is this Pastor P or is it? Because Pastor P doesn't call me Obapa, so I'm confused. Please identify yourself. EPA Worldwide says that these come in various forms and they are even within interpersonal communications and professional encounters too. Hashtag communication is in various forms, non-verbal and verbal. Putting these into account is important. Thank you. So you think before you speak. Like I said before, you have to be brief, be specific, and have a positive demeanor, even on the phone. Too much fact here. Too much fact here, sis Odo. Okay. Sometimes when you're talking to people, just their demeanor. Oh, hello. Oh, hello, Chiame. Welcome. Hey, thank you for visiting us today. We appreciate you. Yeah. So basically, it's you need to be able to manage yourself in situations where you're communicating with people. You have to be polite. You see, let me say one thing. When you look at our community right now, especially on social media, the way we talk to each other, the way we address people, it's all fighting, insults. And then the worst things that you hear is people insulting people with body parts. Did you even create that person? What does this tell you when you see this going on? It's from the cultural upbringing that I explained in the beginning, that we were not taught to own our feelings. You are not allowed to speak up. You are a child. You are not important. Your opinion does not matter. If your sister or your brother hurts you, it's okay. You are the elder, so don't worry. It's your sister. It's okay. Everything is okay. It's okay. And meanwhile, as Sister Joa has said, when you don't handle your emotions, the internal damage is pretty serious. So what do you have? This is the blow up that we are seeing. You see, we are the walking wounded. We have not healed our trauma. And so we just unleash it on each other. And so this person comes fighting, yelling, then the other person comes, and then there's people who are watching it. They are just agog. They are just so happy, just waiting for the next episode. You hear people even say things like, oh, I'm bored today. Where's the beef on social media? excuse me? You could be doing something with yourself, learning, reading, empowering somebody else. But this is what we know. And we think it is the right way. So when people encounter other people like you and I, they think that we are the cowards because we won't come and engage in fights and this what do you call it, brouhaha, beef matters that go on. No, I don't do fights. I use my words. And when I use my words, you'll get me. Nobody will tell you what I'm trying to say. You'll get the message. So we have to learn to communicate better. It's so important. So basically, I started from the upbringing, and then I've gone through some tips for great communication. I'm going to take a break, do some commercials, and when I come back, we'll talk about how to manage conflicts as adults. And if anybody has any comments or questions, or please put them there and I'll try to answer them, or we are all here. And if anybody has any insights on the questions, then we can all participate and make sure that we are educating each other. So where am I? So I'll start with Sister Yaa'S Russell is not able to be here today, as I said, but she has a YouTube channel, Yaa'S Boating Russell. She does a lot of health and wellness tips, very insightful. Please follow her on YouTube and subscribe to her channel. Okay. As well, Sister Aisha Ankara. I haven't seen her recently. She's around. Sister Aisha does not have a platform, but she's somebody who supports people. Anytime you go to any of these educative platforms, she's there. She provides insights. Sometimes even she'll be the one, she'll find out information about the topic that you're talking about and post it in the chat for you. So that's how we all learn together. So she's in Britain, Great Britain. So she does Juice Plus and then Avon. So if you are there, please patronize her business. And there's Miss Sage. She does Sage's Share. So it's sageshare.com. She does a lot of African prints. Sister Ajodo has purchased a lot of her products. So when you're on Sister Ajodo's platform, you hear a lot about Miss Sages. They are very beautiful. You have the map of Africa engraved on the T-shirts. There's earrings. There's all kinds of things. And as usual, the Canadians are waiting. Miss Sage is there, so she's getting my message. And then there's Sika Educates. Sika also does very educative programs, short, concise. They're so interesting. And we have also Miss Lunchtime Talk, Sister Awumrekwa. She's not been on recently, but I think she's on here and there. So watch out for those platforms. And then on Fridays, Sister Ajoado, I should change that. I keep forgetting. It's the Ajoa Odo Mensa Talk Show. Okay. It comes on Fridays, 4:30 Mountain Standard Time, 6:30 Eastern Time. And she talks about all kinds of topics. Yesterday was health matters, just how things affect us health-wise, communication, this and that. It was I'm scattered a bit, so I'm not remembering everything, but yes, there were some nuggets that were thrown there. And today at 1 p.m. my time, which is Mountain Standard, 3 p.m. Eastern, which is her time, she has marriage teachings with Osofo Samuel. I'm not sure what the topic is going to be today, but Osofo Samuel is a very knowledgeable, seasoned pastor, very knowledgeable in the Word of God, and he says it as it is. It's very lovely to behold. So please join that program. As well, there is the Dreamers and Visionary Coaching with the beautiful, intelligent Pastor Patience Edwards. Pastor P. Yes, I started taking this coaching program. I think I'm in my second year. I can't even quite remember when I started because it seems like I've been doing it forever. And it's taught me a lot of things about life. You learn about your soul, your mind, your vibrations. There's things that, as this communication piece we're talking about, we don't take a lot of things seriously. I'll say this in Twitter, we're so easygoing, so laid back about stuff. And I'll reference an incident that had happened even recently. We saw on social media 2 ladies fighting and people standing by watching. Oh, we're praying of power. Oh, she's really hurt them. Call the ambulance. It's always somebody else should. We don't, So, yeah. And if you are very aware, self-awareness, you say, hey, there's danger. Let me go help. What can I do? Not be a bystander sitting there talking. Yes, when somebody's life is at stake, too, I might add. So, and as well, Pastor P is a Tap Send rep. Please contact her. You get a discount. I think her code is Lady P. But if you want more information, certainly do contact her. As well, there's Redox signaling molecules. Look, Redox is there's a lot of testimonies about this product because it heals you. It's helped me, and I've put in an order and gotten more. And there's also Redox Mind, Mood, and Energy products. There's also the ASEA gel. Redox is an ASEA product. There's also the ASEA gel that you can use for pain. Yes, so please, if you need any of these products, contact her. And then as well, I will talk about I talked about the programs that we have on this platform. So we do the Saturday Facebook Lives, and then we have Auntie Yaa'S beauty lessons with your favorite auntie. It's from the beauty of a woman's heart. And so I share little nuggets, to inspire and encourage women. There's also the Own It with your very own ornithologist and queen of Own It. This book, yes, I am an Amazon bestseller, international author. So this book here is Own It. It's a guide to taking responsibility and accountability for your own life journey. It is a must, because one thing that we were not taught is to take accountability. We always project on others what we should be doing for ourselves. Our anger, everything is on somebody else. Somebody else is to blame. And that is a no-no. If you want to grow and develop in life, get a copy of this book. As well, I have Refreshing for My Weary Soul and Reflections for a Thirsty Soul. You can find these books all on Amazon. And I do Auntie Yaa'S nuggets. Basically, I just share nuggets to do with daily living. It could be about being, persevering in life. What have you? Okay. And I do Pearls of Wisdom. That's a detailed, probably 5 to 15-minute chat about a passage from the Bible. And I don't do it in isolation. I talk about how it applies to real life, because I get the impression that we've been taught to just be religious. So we just judge people. For me, my point is the Bible says I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And then you go to church, maybe you're even there 5 to 7 days a week. And then I'm asking you a question about your life. Oh, I can't do this. Oh, I can't. Did you forget what you read in the Bible? That's where I'm coming from. And the other thing, piece is a word for you. A word for you is a shorter version. It's an 1 minute, less than 1 minute clip about a passage from the Bible. I try to make things interesting. I'm tired of the religiosity that we grew up with. God says God loves us. He didn't say we should become hypocrites or become chuntran and kokoti, standing in judgment on people. No, you are supposed to enjoy your life. So for me, I add a lot of humor to things. And so, yes, those are the, the programs that we have on this platform as well. There's, if you look in the corner here, Auntie Yaa'S Own It Academy, we provide book coaching and publishing services. We do life empowerment, and then we do, life coaching. I always say life empowerment. Well, it's that too, right? Life coaching and women empowerment. Listen, the communities in which we grew up in, a lot of women have this script that we were given. Go to school, get married, have children. If you ask a woman what she wants to do, she'll say, oh, I'm married. The marriage becomes an excuse. The kids become an excuse. Don't get me wrong. There's women out there doing marvelously, but they face a lot of challenges. Yes. I forget which Ghana radio station or program it was, but I think I follow them on Facebook. So I saw that video, or I saw a post, and this lady, I think her name is Professor Kaufman. There's another name attached to it, but she was interviewed by Delay. And I mentioned that the comments that men were making under this platform, I was sad to tell myself that the Ghanaian man is not interested in seeing a woman develop herself. Perhaps they feel threatened. But listen up, that woman, as well as you, the man, you are on this earth to fulfill destiny. It does not matter to me whether you are married or not married. Marriage is not the qualifier. God brought you here to do something. Are you doing it? Look, a lot of people are miserable. They've gone to their deaths because there's something inside them that should have come out and they weren't able to bring it out. That is what we deal with. Contact us at ownitbooks@gmail.com, on Messenger, for that, and we'll get the message. As well, please patronize my YouTube channel. It's called Auntie Yaa'S Book Channel. You'll find it and subscribe. So that's commercials, and thank you for listening. I'm going to go back to the comments. There's a few here I'll read, and then we'll finish up. Message says, oh, Miss Ya, I got the message. Thanks very much for the promo. Kind of you. Okay, I keep saying it right. Sister Joa says there are some people who spend most of their lives on kokonsa, lies, create unnecessary conflicts, celebrate others' downfall. Yes, drama kings, queens who brings no time working on themselves to achieve greater things in life with integrity, value, discipline, and honesty. I didn't quite catch that part here. And she says, so thank you for the promo. No problem. We're here to support each other if only we would all learn that lesson. My best and favorite, and love all your amazing books. So thank you. You mean the Beauty of a Woman's Heart. Yes. Oh, hello, Nanaraba. How are you doing? Sister Joseph, friends and loved ones can buy your books. Sister Sage's authentic merchandises, Juice Plus, natural supplements to balance their diet for holidays and birthday presents. Thank you, sis. We must help each other promote. Look, if you are on here, share, give me some emojis, love, like, give me stars, because we've been bringing these educative programs to you since 2020 when my first book came out. So show your support. These are the things that you can do. Share it. When you do that, it pushes Facebook pushes the video so people hear the messages. So I'd appreciate you all doing that. Thank you. And so I believe that I have covered everybody. And so we'll go back and do the last piece of it. I'm trying to find it. How to manage conflict, communication when there's communication breakdown. All right. So when we say communication breakdown, I think that I don't want to be mean or negative. I think we're in a perpetual state of communication breakdown because of all the fights. Grace abounds. Trust you are fine too. I can see you are you strong woman, you. Nana Araba, we have only one life to live. So if you allow people to bully you and you are living in fear or pleasing people, you'll never live. Yes. It gets to a point. Oh, okay. Thanks, sis. It gets to a point that you need to stand up for yourself no matter what people say. Yes. And also I've learned too that you go where you are celebrated, not tolerated. Yes. I'm in groups where I feel like I've just been tolerated. I've gotten out of them because you do something, they don't even support you. And these are people who know you. You think they would be your best supporters, but they don't. And so you go, wow, what am I doing here? Yeah. And when you bring these things up, people may think, oh, why is she talking like that? She's being envious. But when somebody else posts something, oh, they are all over it. So what does that tell you? But you know what? I'm not here for you. I don't breathe for you. You don't breathe for me. So let's everybody go their way. And that's it. You have to learn to cut things, like cut to the chase. Life is too precious, too important to be sitting there thinking about what somebody did to you, what somebody didn't do. It's up to them. Yes, you can't please people. You can't. You can't. You have to live. And people call you names because you know what? Sister Jo had a comment before. The bullies, the narcissists, whatever, they are very interested in keeping you quiet. But you came on earth to live a life. And no matter what is going on around you, you got to live it. I'll get off my soapbox now, Nanaraba. I just had to share that. So anyway, let's go to how to manage conflicts. So basically, right, I find that she says, cut, nip, and sometimes drink water and mind your business. Thank you. I love that. So you have to have, there's people who are very opinionated. Yes, they think that their ideas is everything. You see, as a people, we have to learn to come to a place of agreeing to disagree. I don't think the same way you do. Maybe for on an issue, Sister Aju and I may think the same way. On another issue, I'll say, hey, sis, I don't agree with you. Message may say, oh, yeah, I agree with you, Auntie Yaa'S. It does not mean that we're against Sister Aju, but in our community, that's how we take it. It tells us that we've not developed ourselves, we've not grown, we've not opened our minds, expanded ourselves to be able to, hear all sides of an issue and make an informed decision or allow people to be. That is their opinion. Just because they don't agree with you does not mean they are your enemy. No, we need to get past that. So there are some groups who are camouflages, biases, and selectives. Hey, this is Ajua. Some of them are my uni mates and non-American. Hello, Pastor P. Welcome. How are you? Welcome, Blue Bridges Coaching. Yes, please patronize Blue Bridges Coaching. So, as I was saying, managing conflict, you have to have patience. Yeah, you have to have patience. You have to have flexibility and then show respect. I mentioned earlier the lack of respect we have for one another. I heard somebody describing somebody that their mouth was like Nentria something, and I'm like, huh? Hey, like we go very low, right? We go very low. When you are communicating, you have to be clear. Don't say things that will confuse people. And if you are on the receiving end of the communication, you also have to ask questions. Because if you don't, then that's how the misunderstanding occurs. So Pastor P says something, oh, Pastor P, I don't understand what you just said, or this is where I'm coming from, this is what I mean. Clarify. But with some people, when you clarify, they get offended. And I don't understand. You don't need to get offended. The person is just stating their views. So we all need to be open-minded, open, receptive to hear other people's viewpoints. Yeah. And you need to be diplomatic in your speech. Here I said somebody is insulting somebody that their mouth like something, cow, whatever, right? We say all kinds of things. But it takes away from the main focus. When you're having an issue with somebody, stick to the issue at hand. Don't resort to insults and saying all kinds of things that take away from the main conversation. Because at the end of the day, you are only interested in coming to some resolution. Yes, you are trying to manage the conflict, if there is one. Yeah. And also be non-confrontational. We can talk with each other without shouting and screaming. You don't need to shout and scream. Like, express your opinions. If there's shouting going on and you are not agreeable to it, you can politely excuse yourself. You say, you know something? I think that we all need to take a step back, go cool off, reflect, and come back. Let's talk when we are more settled. You don't go say when people get inflamed. So just say, let's revisit this and leave the conversation. That's all that you need to do. Stajua says, well, many people do not even understand the word disagree and make everything personal instead of accepting others' opinion. The usual suspects are the closed and fixed mindset people because nothing penetrates into their thick skulls due to lacking some better coping skills. Okay. Blue Bridges Coaching says misinterpretation of communication is very common with our people. Most of the people have premeditated conception towards others. Oh, you got that right. Thank you. And Miss Sage said sender, message, recipient, feedback. Miss Faith Sage, can you elaborate? You are your message recipient. Okay. Oh, okay. So the sender is sending the message, the recipient, you give feedback on the message. Am I right? And then also your communication has to be non-judgmental. Like Pastor P just said, most of the people have premeditated conception towards others. So their mind is already made up. They are not going to listen, but you have to be non-judgmental, you know? It's like, okay, let me give an example, Sister Ajua. In Sister Ajua's previous videos, she used to dance. Okay, I won't dance, but Sister Ajua is dancing. Should I go and judge her? No, she likes to dance. We have to. Oh, thank you, message. Okay, I got it then. And then Nanaraba says, encoding and encoding. That's where the problem, encoding and encoding. No, that's where the problem is. Please clarify why. And then also you have to have openness. You know, I'm struggling with this because all that we are saying, people don't even want to practice it. We are not open, right? We are not open. We are lacking skills. Like we don't. Everywhere some of our people go, they display toxicity, and that some of us too are trying to stay away from that. Yes, we're really trying to stay away from that because there's a lot of, oh, okay, that's where the problem is. Us is in how we understand things. Oh, encoding and decoding. Yes. Okay, I get you now. Yeah. So, and message said the feedback will let us know if the recipient understood the message or not. Exactly that, because somebody is saying something, you need to ask questions. Like previously, I said, if my manager or co-worker or whoever, there's a work situation, you are there, you've taken notes, but later when you're actually going to do the project or the task, you find, oh, I'm not clear on this. You go back and you ask questions. Is this what you meant by this? Right? Or even at the time you're writing it, maybe you think you understood it, so you didn't ask the question. And I'm speaking for myself, but later you go, there's more to this. You ask questions, or be free even to give suggestions, like you are dealing with somebody and there's communication, you go, oh, might I suggest such and such, if they are open to receiving it. Yes, for me, if I have an idea, I will suggest it, I bring it up. I'm not going to sit there and be timid and say whatever. And a lot of times the feedback I mean, my manager offer, you know, you have to speak up. You have to speak up and not. The main thing that is wrong in our community is that people are so afraid of each other. We have this script, people are running our lives, so we don't stand alone. So when you find the standalone people like you and I, some of us on these platforms, people think that we are the problem because we won't keep quiet and be pushed around. No, no, you need to develop yourself. Like personal values, our personal values can lead to conflict, but you need to learn to agree to disagree. So yes, I'm just reading some of the things that cause conflict: misinformation, environment. Yeah, as for environment, we know a lot of things lead to conflicts. And then people lack skills to do their work. Like they just won't, they don't have any coping skills. They just degenerate to fighting and insults. And values, so a clash of personal values can lead to conflict as well. But in managing them, you have to be a calming agent. You have to be. Sometimes somebody will come and be insulting you. You also feel like just giving back, but you go, no, me, I'll write. You'll see a politely worded email and you will get the message, or what I'll say to you. I won't insult you, but you will think through it and say, oh, okay, I guess I went off the deep end. I should have taken my time. We need to learn how to manage our emotions. If you don't know how to manage your emotions, you always find yourself in conflict with people. And sometimes it's okay. And we have this notion that, we have this fighter, unnecessary fighter spirit, be that we think that if we shout and yell at people, we've overcome them. So if somebody backs down and walks away, then that person is being labeled that, oh, they are weak. No, 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 no. They are not weak. They respect themselves. Their dignity is at stake. They chose to walk away. You chose to continue fighting. Sister Joa says the dysfunctional mindset is too far out and limited that it prevents many from having the power to ask any questions. It's some people. But sis, if you're on your program and you are with somebody doing a program and they say something and I don't understand, and I say, oh, you said this, but I don't get it. And then they will explain, oh, this is what we meant. Oh, okay, fine. But we don't insult each other. No, the lack of emotional resilience or restraint is too abundant. Oh my goodness, you're giving me, let me write something down. All right. So yeah, basically, and then also analyze the conflict. Sometimes you have to stay neutral. You know, there's situations where people come and they think you're coming to take sides. No, stay neutral. If you are the third person in the situation and two people are having a conflict, stay neutral. Analyze both sides, put it out there. Don't I mean, it's easy to say, oh, this person is right, that person is right, but you can point them in the direction of managing to get to a win-win situation. Yes. And Araba says we need to have serious shock absorbers because as humans can shock even the devil. Oh yes. Oh yes, that is so true. That's what the shock absorbers, you really need it, because there's a lot going on. People don't understand situations or management. All they know is to throw out insults, or they don't think through carefully. Think before you speak is key to anything in communication. And your words, you don't go and speak words that hurt people. You can correct somebody in a very civilized, calming manner, and they won't take offense at it. But if you come and be insulting me because I said something you don't like, no, that's a no-no. So, yeah. Model neutral language. I said that already. And then also separate the person from the problem. Do we know how to do that? Separate the person from the problem. We label, oh, this person said this, so they are this or that. That is just their opinion. They are just verbalizing their opinion. You know, try to work together to resolve issues. Yes. And learn to agree to disagree. If you're really committed to resolving a conflict, you need to be able to make sure that you work with each other to come to some middle ground, win-win, type situation, if we know how to do that. Yes. And also active listening. Don't be interrupting people. Yeah, don't be interrupting people. So Message says, you're right, Miss. In conflict management, we should leave our emotions out. Otherwise, we tend to be irrational and not see the other party's point of view. Yeah, there are some people who are so rigid, so stuck in their mode that you talking to them, and when you go to these community events or parties or whatever at people's house, the argumentative ones, they come and they are making a whole lot of noise. Meanwhile, you are listening to them. So what you are saying is not making sense, yet you are shouting. So everybody will back down and think that your opinion is the right. It is not. Basically, what I find is that we are not very good at managing ourselves emotionally in social situations, and it shows. So we need to try to do a little better coping mechanisms. If you're somebody who just flies off the handle and starts speaking, just count 1 to 5, stop yourself. Maybe you're going to spew out some nasty words, but you stop yourself and then calm yourself down, take a breath, and then maybe in your mind start to rephrase those nasty words. It comes out better. Sister Joa says most people are reactive to think through any problems and lack of proactiveness. So that's why they find themselves getting into unworthy circumstances. You see, if you're not somebody who has learned how to manage their emotions, every situation you get into, you'll be fighting. you'll be arguing with people all the time, and then you'll be branded and labeled that way. Or people stay away. Oh, don't argue. It's in the Bible somewhere. Don't argue with a fool. Like their opinions, they think their opinions are so important. I don't remember the exact quotation, but there's a lot of that in Proverbs somewhere. Yes. So basically, let me do this. Today, we've been talking about Communications 101, adult communication, how our upbringing impacts the way we communicate as adults. Then we've talked about tips for developing great communication skills, and then how to manage conflict. We don't have all the answers. This is just a cross-section of what is out there. So you might want to do your own research also, or, educate yourself on how to handle some of these situations. So here is the call-in number. If anybody, I think my phone fell down. I can't even find it, and I want people to call me. Give me a sec, okay? I'll find my phone. Okay, I found my phone. It fell on the floor somewhere. If you want to call in, the number is 1-780-984-6416, and WhatsApp calls only, please. Right, so let's see. I'll read these comments. Nanaraba says, humility to learn, accept to unlearn and relearn. Sometimes it makes you less heavy. You feel light to let go of some perceptions we have carried over the years. Thank you, Nanaraba. That is quite deep. It is so true. It is so, so true. It takes a lot of work. And the sad thing is that some of us have been unwilling to do that work. And so we carry that baggage along. Blue coaches. Pastor P, thank you. So Proverbs 26:4 says, do not answer a fool according to his folly, lest you also be like him. Thank you. So the poor characteristics adapted even have scared Satan devil into hiding. Well, everything we blame him, and I think that right now, no. So, yeah. Okay, so I will say this, I'll summarize, and then we can end if there's no calls coming through. Communication is a part of our life. It's a key part of our life. If I'm standing in front of Pastor P and I'm not saying anything, well, we're just, how do we communicate? Well, maybe my body language will tell her a thing or two, but basically communication is the mode of how we relate and interact with each other. And so we need to develop the right skills to manage those communications. And also we have to learn not to be hurtful in our interactions with each other. There's something called speaking the truth, but you manage how you speak that truth. Some of us speak truth in it's like boom, barbed words. We just put it out there and poke, and hurt. Words hurt. And so if you don't manage that communication, then you've left somebody with a deep wound in their soul. Miss Sage says, there should be the right place and right time to work through the conflict. It should not be in public, maybe backdoor or in a private area. Well, a lot of us choose to be broadcasting our stuff, right? That's where we see all the beefs all over the place. Communication is one of the powerful tools everyone needs to acquire. Yes, our manner of speaking to each other. If you're going to grow or develop even in life, you have to learn how to communicate. How you communicate in your family settings, in your work settings, in your spiritual settings, wherever. It's key. You can build positive relationships through good communications, and that same communication, if done in a negative way, will destroy a relationship. Our words matter. So how we speak to one another, we need to be very, very careful. learn to build people up instead of tearing people down. Communication is key. You need to work at it. A lot of us, we just holding on to the things that, hello, sis.
Hello.
Welcome, welcome.
Oh, thank
Um, do you have anything to add? We're summarizing. Were you
I was
listening in?
no, I wasn't even able to listen in.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, thanks for
Yeah,
joining.
yeah. I just
Any
came on
insights you
break
want to
and I
share?
said, well, I just came on break and I said, let me check and see if you're still here.
Oh, okay.
And well, it it is on communication, right? Okay, all I want to say that um is that upbringing and how you communicate and how it affected me. Like,
Yes.
yes, I naturally I'm an introvert, but because I was always being, told to be quiet and stuff like it didn't help either because
Mm-hmm.
I already was an introvert and then that on top. So when I go out somewhere, I hardly talk. I would not even speak,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it made my confidence also go down. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why public speaking was a big thing. I know a lot of people go through it, but mine, it was so bad that even when I went for my first interview, like immediately I sat down and they started talking to me, my ears were literally hot. Like I was feeling the pressure so much
Mm-hmm.
that, yeah, and uh, yeah, so I guess that's all I have because I know that you've given out a lot of points, and I don't want to be repeating um, any of those things. And
Oh,
um, the conflict, oh yeah, the conflict management part too. Yeah, as we either like to sweep things under the carpet like it never happened,
yes.
or we go aggressively.
Yes.
So it's either the two extremes where no, we don't manage conflicts in the
Very.
in between like very well.
Mm-hmm.
So we're either very aggressive, and that's when the insults and all that comes in, and we take everything personally. Because when we forget that we're different people with different ideas, different
Yes.
background, different interests, and we don't we don't know the win-win approach
Thank you.
to, yeah, conflict and I guess relationships as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, if we approach it everyday life like everyone is different, let me listen to the
Mm-hmm.
person and see what they have to offer. And that's not saying that you listen to judge, you listen to understand the
Yeah.
person,
Mm-hmm.
genuinely understand the person.
Mm-hmm.
And as we say, body language is everything. So if you're listening to understand, the person will feel that.
Yes.
And then it also become confrontational. So it becomes a conversation rather than a fight or
Exactly. Mhm.
yeah, abusive. Yeah, so yeah, I guess that's what I have to say.
Thank you, Ya, for your insights. Those were very good points. I'm very glad that you brought that personal perspective because I was talking about it. So your sharing your story tells us how it actually impacted you. You know, that going to the first interview and feeling so uncomfortable. Yes, so we did speak about all that. So thank you for the points that you raised and just the insight about how we just come aggressively and so it leads to the shouting and the insults instead of it's classic. Yes, it's very that's it right there. So thank you so much. So yes, um we've said a lot, and basically, oh, let me see. Basically, what it is that you need to learn to have coping mechanisms, how you manage your communication. If things are going on that you don't like, or you're all getting inflamed and yelling and screaming at each other, walk away. As Miss Sage had said, sometimes you need to do this back door in a private area, not in public, as It's being demonstrated on social media as we see it these days. If I have a problem with Ya, I have to go to Ya and speak with her. Or, hey, Ajua, you said this, I don't quite get it. Can you elaborate? You ask questions. Oh, Pastor P, this is how I feel about this. What were you trying to tell me? Talk, you know. There's ways of talking to people, and we have to learn to manage ourselves. At the end of the day, it's all about how we manage our emotions. So I don't know, maybe we need to be talking about emotional intelligence. Who knows? Let's read Ajua's comments and then we'll close off. Having many people prove time and time without effective communication skills, their only defense mechanism is insults, foolish enablements, hypocrisy, disrespect, labeling, dogmatism, one way,
Yes.
no, pull down syndrome, lies, gossiping, and other negativities on social media. This is exactly what it is, but we could do better. And I tell you, they won't come and listen to programs like this either because they they degenerate on the side. People like beef, so they'll go to those platforms. But like I said, we've talked a lot today, communications, how to manage communication. So I hope you've taken something away. We'll be back next week with another topic of interest. We thank you for joining us today. And everyone who was on with us, thank you so much. If I start mentioning names, I may forget some. There's some too who may be watching and did not make any comments, so we don't know that you are there. Please, when you come, just do the like, share, love it, make a comment. Pastor P says, Sister Jodo is a great mediator. I applaud her. Thank you. Oops. And then, oh, you're welcome. You're welcome, Nanaraba. Do come again. Yes, so we've said a lot. Let's all try to be better people. Communication is how we relate to each other. We talk through talking. And the way we talk to each other is really important. We need to be respectful. We need to take people's feelings, backgrounds, their values into account in our communication. Let's strive to be better. So thank you so much for coming. And you know what? Give us stars, okay? So we can continue. Support us by giving us stars so that we can continue to bring you these programs. Thank you all so much and have a great weekend. And do look out during the week for the videos on this platform. There'll be one on Monday. I think it's about perseverance. Yeah, it's quite hilarious. So, oh, well, maybe I think I'm hilarious. Anyway, you got to have fun. That's life. Thank you, ladies
Yes.
and gentlemen. If there were any gentlemen in the background, have a great rest of the weekend. I appreciate you all. Thanks for your support. Bye bye. Yeah, thank you so much for coming
Bye.
in. We'll talk. Mhm.
Okay.